Hey, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and today we're here with Scott Sycamore, Scott Sycamore. If you want to subscribe to his channel, he's got a good channel. He does tell a little bit about your channel actually before we get started.
Well, yeah, I was wincing right there because I bumped my toe sitting down. But my channel, I do topical news videos where I read articles, usually not about the stuff we normally talk about. It's just about kind of general news and silly fake news stuff. A lot of things about robots and androids and science fiction, futuristic stuff with a irreverent twist. I am very into obviously cannabis stocks, cryptocurrency, things like that as well.
Yeah,
Um,
you need to start doing some of those videos, man. Bring it to the people.
yeah, it's weird. It's just my brain sort of goes to the comedy and mockery sort of things
Yeah, fair
of
enough.
making fun of things, and it's really, I kind of come on here as a secret identity, alter ego like what we're doing is giving picks, directly to people, and like that's good. It's what everyone else is a lot of, or excuse me, what a lot of other people claim to do, which is bring you the picks for free, and there's no hidden agenda. That's actually what we're doing. We're just talking about things that cross our radar. So this is what speed it up. Is that what you're saying? Okay, well there we go. That's it. So I'm sped up. We're done. We're done.
Yeah, I want to disclose I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment information purposes. Do not buy or sell any stock that I invest in or any investment that we talk about in this video.
I agree.
Um, so what happened? It's crazy. Get your hands in the air. Raise the roof. This is
Oh, dude, you're
look at
balling,
the
bro.
big thing. Guess what
Yes.
happened? I made a Robinhood account back when Aurora was $6, and I sold that shit for $12.
Yeah,
Yeah, make the money
motherfucker.
rain.
Big fucking hot dogs.
Throw it in
Woo, I got
the
money too, baby. Make it rain. I feel like P. Diddy because I traded options in my Robinhood account and
air.
I made a killing, yo. I bought Aurora options at $1. That shit went to $1.50, yo. Now I'm
Uh,
balling.
Ballin'. Yo, so
Well, that wasn't real, everyone. That was a humorous, slander of the truth.
hey, you're so before we get into this video, I just want to talk about a few books that you might be interested if you're new. I don't have the affiliate links. Maybe one time I'll start doing affiliate links, but this is Stock Market Investing by Jason Kelly.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know, some guy. And
Seems like a good book.
this guy is connected with Warren Buffett. He read this book, like he learned from The Intelligent Investor. So I recommend this book. This one's this one's awesome.
Don't forget the sequel, The Dumbass Investor. That was even better, yo. You know what? Everyone mentions that book, but I guess it's good. I haven't read it, but yeah, Benjamin Graham, the mentor of Warren Buffett, an old Jewish guy, Ben Graham.
I'm not
Uh,
sure. I can't say
yeah,
it.
I mean, he seems Jewish, even if he's not. And
Okay,
had a lot of
let's
money.
try to be a little more politically correct.
I know exactly. You're right. It's just the things I think about. And yeah, so everyone brings that book. I have not heard of the other book though, so great. Your audience actually reads. That's incredible.
You know, actually, it's been pretty cool. I've been slowly gaining some subscribers and getting some more comments from some people. So
Yeah.
it's been nice to see. I really truly appreciate anybody that comments down below because I'm not here to just talk on here. I want to have conversations. You know, have relationships with the people. So yeah, I mean for sure. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I don't know everything about the whole investment world. Nobody does, and you could be a billionaire. You're not gonna know everything. So
No. By the way,
th-
something billionaires lose money all the time. People don't
it's
realize
true. It's
they
absolutely
do.
true.
And rich people in general, I mean, they make bad investments probably more than the average person, but obviously they have so much that they can always kind of, rebound. So we want to get, there's two parts of the money game, everyone. making it and then keeping it. You
Yeah,
got to play
money
both.
management. Money management is key. So if you have, say, I mean, I haven't had a video on that, but it's very important with money management, whether in your own life, but as far as investing goes, say you have a $2,000 account and you grow it to $2,500 or $5,000, it never hurts to take profits.
Well, sure, and it's about protecting the downside. I've heard a major investor say most people look at how much you can gain. The pro investor looks at how much you can lose on any trade, any investment. So it's that you want to keep investing in things that have a reasonable risk reward in your mind, and there's many ways to do it, from the safest all the way up to the see we talk about what we talk about are supposedly some of the most unsafe investments out there, which is cannabis penny stocks for the most part. But in my opinion, and I know we talk about this a lot, but if you do it right, it's actually safer than other shit.
Uh, Here and
Can
there. I couldn't
safer
really,
than options. Safer than options.
yeah, options is pretty sketchy. Personally, I think if you want to play safe, don't invest in one stock. Invest into a HMMJ ETF, or I don't know what you guys have in America.
We
And
have access to that. Yeah.
so that would be the safest route than just say, oh, okay, today I'm bringing you one pick. Okay, I'm gonna throw 100% on that.
Uh,
No.
it's not usually the thing to do. But yeah, so because these things are speculative, they have a lot of volatility.
Boom and
But
bust.
yeah, what I like though, and this is about all stocks, in theory, hopefully, usually they don't go to zero. So you normally don't lose all of your investment unless you're in like Enron or whatever, some shit that just totally disappears overnight. But that usually doesn't happen in the stock game, so that's good. So in something like options or futures or some of these hyper contracts like binary options and shit like that, I mean, you lose 100% of your money on every trade, or maybe not every, but that money is gone very quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
especially
yeah,
the short-term durations. Like I don't want to talk too much about options, but absolutely he raises a valid point. You
yeah, man.
in options trading, you lose more than you win. Absolutely.
Most
Even
likely.
the pros do. They'll lose like they'll win about 35% of their trades.
Right.
And so you can't expect to throw all your money on one option position. Say, oh, I'm going to go
Yeah.
100% all in on Apple because I think it's going to go to the roof. Because these, especially in short-term durations and options. But I don't. We don't
Yeah.
want to talk about that for the whole show. But yeah,
We're done. Speed it up, man. Speed it up. All
no, I
right.
don't
So
want. Yeah.
no, let's get to the next phase. So yeah, so that's what we do. We talk about this shit here. I have a channel talk about other stuff, but I agree. I'll get more to the financial things, kind of like right.
Before we get into this, how long have you been investing? I just want to.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Every day it gets longer and it feels like longer because it is. But I think I bought my first stock in about 2014, something like that. And I'm 37 now, so I was like, I was 31 or 32 or something at the time, um, when I kind of first really got my feet wet and did the first trade. And I think I bought like one share of Facebook and two shares of Twitter and a couple other like bullshit like that, like a couple big companies, like a few shares. Um, I think, uh, yeah, I mean, I didn't really gain or lose much and all that. Obviously, I sold them after a while, but yeah, I was really just trying to figure out the basics, like how to make the trade and how to push the buttons
But
and
but you
and
probably did really good with crypto, didn't you?
well, it's funny. It's kind of remains to be seen because, yeah, my portfolio did jump up. I pretty much started investing at just the right time in early 2017. Well, before that would have been even better. But yeah, I kind of rode that 2017 wave, but I didn't sell. And so my portfolio, like, many others, has crashed a lot since then. But I'm still happy. I mean, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, I think my capital was relatively well protected in that market. If I certainly wouldn't sell my crypto today when it's still low, but if I had to sell, if I was forced to sell right now, it wouldn't be horrible. It wouldn't be like, oh my God. So yeah, I rode the quick wave on that. So on paper, I did really well had I sold. But that's okay because I always believed in crypto long term, and I think
So
we were just
what does that
started.
teach? Because every one of my videos, I love to have a lesson. I don't specifically say a lesson, but
Sure.
that's my goal. If
This
I
isn't reading rainbow. Yeah,
if I
go ahead.
can teach one person one lesson every video, then I'm reaching my goal. But um what the goal is you have to understand that every cycle ends. It has a boom and it has a bust, and
Right,
you cannot expect that boom to go on forever. You also
right.
can't expect that bust to go on forever. So you
Everyone
have to
does.
be well rounded in your thinking and understand, okay, when it's down here and the company you think has solid footing and it can be a good company, well, don't
Yeah.
be so scared. Don't be scared.
Don't be timid.
You can buy some of those shares when it's a good company when it's low. Then when it
Yep.
gets when it starts going up, you can buy a little bit more and then wait for it to go up. And then when it starts
Sure.
going up, then when it goes up to here, then you're selling off your shares maybe 25-50%. Then you're
Boom, boom, boom.
selling more, and then you ride more for that end goal. But you
The
can't
ladder to success, baby.
but
Stairway to heaven.
but you can't expect to just ride that forever, because eventually it's just going to crash. And when it crashes, your mind won't be thinking about, oh, I got to
Well,
sell, because you're not prepared.
you have to think about it in terms of what it actually is, which is a battle of buyers and sellers every single day, and then that daily battle creates the big cycles that you're talking about. So when you see something that's way up high and you want to sell and you want to take that money, you just know that yeah, it has to hit a point where people in mass, like a lot of people are going to sell because they're making so much money off it, and then that's going to drive it back down.
What I thought about as far as the selling goes is basically, if everybody wanted to sell Aurora stock tomorrow, everybody's
Yeah.
like, no. Do you think everybody would get the same price as it is today? Hell no. The last
No,
person
go
selling,
down.
if 100% of the people wanted to sell Aurora because they realized it was overvalued, the
Yeah,
last person that's selling would probably be selling it at like 50 cents or a dollar, because
sure.
not that's why market caps aren't actually realistic.
Well, true. I mean, in some cases they are, but that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, when you watch as much Shark Tank as I have, and you get the constant questions about valuation and what's your startup value, it does make a lot of sense in the public market too. It's just like you have more information about these companies in theory. Maybe not the companies we deal with, but you should have information, and you can look at the value and say, okay, does that make sense? And sometimes it doesn't, but that's the whole point. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's the fluctuation.
It's a supply and demand thing. That's why things start going up when there's
Right.
not enough supply, and then it keeps riding up because there's more buyers and sellers. They take over the whole price. But it can
The sell
change. It
wall.
can change so fast.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. I mean, these stocks move, man. These stocks move. And really, yeah, you have in the gangster rap world, they say scared money don't make money, right?
Who's your
And that's
favorite
one
rapper? Sorry.
my favorite rapper. I would going off on this thing. I don't really have one anymore. I used to listen to a lot of rap, and now not as much. I mean, I think Eminem is probably the best rapper, just from a technical and everything sense. Uh, I used to listen to his former rival Cannabis a lot. I really thought he was one of the best. I like stuff. I mean, I was just got some albums by Mos Def, and trying to listen to some Drake too because he's like the biggest rapper.
Yeah, I
I
like
don't
Drake.
feel I don't feel all of his stuff,
No, me neither. It's okay.
but hey, who
You
does? I
know who
mean,
you should listen to?
yeah,
What's his name? Ah, forget it. Kendrick Lamar. He's good.
everybody. Yeah, I
Kendrick
know him.
Kendrick
Another
Lamar
one.
is really good.
He's so overexposed over the last several years, but I guess it's because he's good. Yeah, he's cool.
Well,
He's an
he was
amazing.
underrated for a long time, and yeah.
Well, when you get with Dr. Dre, which he
Oh,
did,
that's who he's with, I see.
yeah, that's he kind of got under the wing of Dre, whatever, 5, 6 years ago or whatever it was, maybe before that. But that's when he started really blowing up, and he's cool with Eminem and all that. What the fuck? You bring this up? Why are you egging me forward, man? I thought I was the guest on this show.
Oh no, no,
Well,
I love to hear what you have to say. Honestly, it's I
yeah.
think we've had some really great conversations, and
Oh, for
I
sure.
think that any viewer that's listening to it has been able to pick up a few things, whether it's one or two things, you know. That's the thing is, it's the same. If you're listening to me and him, it's the
You're a moron. I'm kidding.
no, but honestly, when I listen to other people, I can't listen to everything they have to say. I'm only looking for gold. I am a
You pick a
miner.
nugget.
I'm a miner for gold. I am just mining. I am looking around the universe and to try to
Yeah.
find gold so that my brain's filled with rich thoughts and their value propositions.
Rich mahogany. It's
But
something from Anchorman. Yeah, man. You want to hear some picks?
yeah, let's get into your picks and I'll get into my picks and then we'll kind of discuss about some of the interesting things that are going on in the industry right now. So stay
Yeah.
tuned. I
Word. So, first one I've been looking at, I might as well start with this one. Um, Again, me being in California, I kind of have the insight to some things going on around here, and I see what they're selling in these stores and these dispensaries. So
I know.
this one is called Plus Products. You familiar with
Oh,
these guys?
yeah. They just reported revenues. I think it was decent. Yeah.
I think so. I'd need to look deeper in the news thing here, but long story short, okay, they had 2018 revenues of 8.4 million. That's unaudited. So, okay, decent, I guess, just kind of getting started. I think they only started in like 2017. So they're getting it moving. I was in a dispensary yesterday and I saw their stuff on the shelf and I've been reading about their stuff. And this is in a pretty like heavy traffic part of town. And I know they're in just a lot of stores around here. Just they got the Cali connection. They got the Cali connection. All the fundamental that revenue seems decent. It looks like they have a really low float, like a really low float. That's good too. So the shares are limited, very limited. What is the price now? Right now, April 3rd in the U.S. West Coast, it's $4.34 U.S.
What's the market
So
cap? They probably have like 120 million market cap or
you're
100.
very close. According to OTC Markets, it's 105 or 106
Yeah,
million
that's a
US.
that's a tight float.
So that's pretty good. So I think that's kind of a wheelhouse we want to be in. I mean, that is a big market cap. I don't know if they
No,
have
it's
any.
not. It's F all.
No, no, it's not at all. But we're still in the early weed space. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, as Tim Sykes will tell you, if you're the CEO of $100 million company, whether it's public or private, I mean, that's a successful company. But in the realm of Wall Street, it's shit. It means nothing.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I think, I mean, if there wasn't so much hype, this company wouldn't be $100 million.
they're right. That's what I'm
This
trying to say.
company would be worth 25 or $40 million if it wasn't
Right,
a cannabis company. So that's
right.
that's the thing is,
That's what we're talking about. So you always have to be wary, but each company is its own entity, and that's why you gotta for the picks, And again, I'm stressing these picks. These are like preliminary picks for me. I'm not saying, oh man, I'm all in on any of these things, or I've done so much research and I've talked to the CEO personally. No, it's that these are coming on the radar. The basic numbers are looking good. The hype is real. They're just early. Most importantly, perhaps you're just early. This ain't on no one else's radar. None of these other cannabis YouTubers are talking about these shit. Everything
uh,
that I'm going to mention today, they're not talking about it.
a good. Sorry, I'm just gonna give a shout out. But a good YouTuber, if you want to get some knowledge about USA companies, is Mickey D, and
Yes.
he's got some good information. And he goes to these facilities in USA. I'm not from USA. He went to Halo Labs facility, so he does
I
that.
did.
He does that stuff. Like he's solid in that way.
And yeah, to harp on that for a second, the Halo Labs facility was very impressive. I was blown away with the scientific nature of it. It was awesome. It was just the right size. And I don't know, the guy was talking to us. I felt like I was in science lecture class, and I didn't really know what was going on, but we were just like, uh-huh, wow, that's crazy. I don't know how that works, but it's very scientific, people. So this is some real shit. This is a real scientific industry. This cannabis extraction, CBD extraction, and the whole thing, processing.
Yeah.
So there we go. Plus products, baby. Yeah, I mean, so obviously I'm on Halo. Plus products, like we were saying, with the 100 million market cap. Um, yeah, we know that's small, but hey, any of these things could go from 100 million to 200 to 500, and then back down, and then up again. So it's out there, man. It's out there. It's something to take a look at. We know we love those tight floats, right?
What do you
Uh,
think of Nutritional High? Did you see their revenues? It was 6 million. I know they did
no,
some losses and stuff, but as far as the edibles, I mean, I think they could be a solid player and they could be a big
sure.
acquisition target.
I I know you've mentioned them to me. See, that's one that
I don't.
you're all over.
I
I
own zero shares. I've
no, I
owned them
know
before.
nothing about it. I know it probably from you telling me about it, and then I saw it on the list and everything of like revenue or whatever. But it sounds great. I have not dug into it. That's all you. So it sounds good. They're an
Ah,
extraction.
I mean, they have a high management guy. I can't remember what he is. If he's like
Yeah.
CEO or he's president, but I think it's like Jim something, and
Uh,
he runs a Florida chocolate shop. So the guy's got knowledge about the kind of edibles
sure.
without cannabis in it.
You
But
just got to infuse.
yeah, so the and then I don't know who they brought on, but basically they acquired another company as well. So I think they're gonna probably do 30 to 40 million in 2019 is my guess. You can come back to me in a year from time and be like, "Oh, Robin,
You were an idiot.
you were off. You were off by 5 million." I'll be like, "Yeah,
Oh, I like their OTC ticker symbol. It's
spliff."
SPLIF, Spliff.
Yeah.
I like. Wait, let me do their preliminary number look. Nutritional high, based out of Toronto. Wow. Um. Oh, the
What?
float is a little high.
Oh
The
yeah.
float's yeah, but not ridiculous high. Just a little high.
But
It's like
listen
a
though,
nutritional.
what was that?
It's their float is like a nutritional high. Not too much, but a
Yeah,
little.
it could be lower. It's not the best float on the market. Plus Products has a way better float, but
Yeah,
and
a lot.
Plus Products is probably a big competitor of them. But
Probably.
but I've looked at their chocolates online and they look really good, and they're doing the extraction stuff. I don't know.
Hey, I love it. Let's talk about one that we kind of are both agreeing on that you brought back to my radar. Another pick we're discussing is that Grow Generation.
Oh yeah, yeah, we chatted about that. Yeah, right. I think that's
So
a
we
good
both
pick actually. They
we
did
agree.
I think 10 million. What did you do you remember what the number was? I think they did 10.
They're doing well, man. They're kind of
I
like
know last was like around 8 million US.
they're basically whatever it is, they're doing good. I have to go to like the news panel here.
I th-
Record, okay, I'm looking at their 2018 revenues, which they said, just gotta open the thing here. Uh, okay. Oh wow. Okay. Nice. So for 2018, they did 29 million total. That's not so bad. I don't know what it is this year. It's probably a different report, but yeah, they they'd only done they basically doubled their revenue from the previous year. So if they were to double again, they'd be at almost 60 for the year. I'm not saying they will double, but that's good. That's good growth, and they're a retail chain of stores, which is interesting because the retail apocalypse is hitting all the so many other types of stores, which we've
Not
mentioned before.
cannabis. Cannabis is on
Not
top.
not growing weed, not
Oh, dude,
growing.
have you ever heard that guy, Greg Manorino?
Know of him, yeah,
I uh
yeah,
I I posted on his Twitter because he was doing something about how retail numbers are so down, and I said, listen, the CBD and the cannabis industry retail numbers are gonna keep going up till eternity.
yeah. Basically, it's like it's the savior of retail in America and worldwide. And motherfuckers, and a product or a company like Grow Generation is perfectly poised for that because they already have like 10 stores or 12 stores, whatever it is. Imagine when they have 50, and 100 stores and whatever.
I
I
think,
mean, and the
yeah,
market will be there. The market will be there just because
I
so
th-
many people will be growing. Go ahead.
I think their acquisition target, because
Sure.
the way that I look at acquisition targets is if you don't have a big cash position, you're gonna be eaten to death
Oh yeah.
eventually. That's why, uh, yeah, it's when you have zero cash, like really low cash amounts, that's when you
Yeah.
become easy prey to these big uh,
No,
companies.
because you need their capital
And
infusion to continue your business.
and Canopy can raise money like a dime. All they need to do is, oh, I want to get $600 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
All they need to do is issue 10 million shares. Oh, whoop de doo, 10 million shares. And they got,
Aurora, yeah. What did Aurora just do with their 750 million raise? How does
it's
that
not
work?
it's not a raise, it's a shelf-based prospectus, I believe, to future raise. So that they're able to raise soon, and I'm sure they will. I mean,
Right.
Aurora is, as far as the big LPs, they're the
Yeah.
dilution king. Listen,
Right.
everybody's always like, "Oh, Aurora's gonna go to $50, blah blah blah. It's gonna go to $150." Look,
Right.
get yourself in check.
Right.
Just because it might be the number one or the number two company, and you see Canopy or Tilray at much higher numbers, that doesn't
Yeah.
mean ish. What matters is the amount of shares out and the
Yeah.
market cap.
And I was thinking about this earlier. The average person just thinks price is all that matters. And yes, a high price per share does mean it's probably a pretty, big company, but you got to look at the fucking float and do some financial math. I know a lot of people are bad at math. I used to think I
They
was.
don't even need to. They just got to go to like TMX Money and it'll tell the market cap.
Oh no, you could see the market cap. Yeah, you could go to otcmarkets.com and look at all that shit, assuming it's correct for the OTC
Yeah.
stocks that we talk about. But yeah, I mean, you have to multiply. You have to see how it's shares out times the price, and that's the market cap. So when Aurora's at $8 and Canopy's at 50 or whatever it is, I mean, yeah, that price they're still closer together, I guess, in terms of market cap, more than you'd expect, right?
And there's also a thing people miss out on, and they're all like, "Oh, why?" The thing is, Aurora has no cash injection from a big S&P 500 company. Kronos Group and Canopy have big cash injections from big S&P 500 players.
Tilray too, right?
No, Tilray got their partners with App InBev and
Uh-huh.
Novartis, but they haven't sold
No
themselves.
injection.
See, Kronos and Canopy have already sold themselves out, and they're gonna be fully owned, not fully, but majority
Heavily owned. Yeah.
majority owned by Constellation brands for Canopy and
Yeah.
Altria for Kronos. So
Yeah.
they've sold themselves. Aurora hasn't done that, so they can try to be, oh, I want a bigger number. Give me
Yeah.
$20 per share or whatever. Because
Right.
honestly, I think that's probably what they're going to be asking when they're going to ask for to be acquired. It's going to be somewhere around $17 to $25. They're not
That's what they're looking for.
they're not going to get $30 or $40 per share if they try
Right.
to do that in the next year. Give me a break. The
Not if
com-
they're too diluted. No.
the company did $47 million last quarter.
Wow. Wow. I mean, that's another. Yeah, that's the thing. We see such discrepancies with with these revenues to price rate, to valuations and
But but
all
that
that good shit.
but that's the thing is though people don't understand that the reason why Kronos is such a high market cap isn't because of their sales, it's because they have all that cash. So you have
Right.
to add that to your math when you're thinking about value, like comparing it to Aurora or Canopy.
Who has the most cash? Like I had heard T God had like
No.
quarter billion in cash, like just sitting
Uh,
around and shit like that.
yeah, T God has 250 million. I think last quarter, Canopy had around 4 billion, and
Well, that's yeah, from
Uh,
Constellation.
I'm not sure if it was added to Chrono's float, to their balance sheet on the reporting, all the
Right.
money they got in, but they have they have somewhere around $2 billion or something like
What
that.
what about the smaller caps who have cash you wouldn't expect?
Uh, well, New Strike Brands had 95 million. Uh,
Yeah, well, wow, 95 is that's really good, but they got acquired for 2.6 times that.
yeah, which is F off. They got the
They
branding and
must
stuff.
they must have just had a shitload of debt or something.
No,
Nothing?
honestly, what I look at is basically the CEO, he wanted to sell out to Canamed a long time ago, and then Aurora bought Canamed, and uh,
Sons of bitches.
and then they didn't want a new strike, and then uh, but they did good revenues. They did almost the same revenues as Kronos last quarter, uh, and this quarter too. But basically, the guy just said, "Oh, I want to work with Hexo."
Um,
But the thing is, there's some strategy to it. It's not as if he's a complete dumbass because the Quebec market is about 20%, or it's like 20 to 25% of the whole cannabis
it's
sales.
like the California of Canada.
Yeah, there's 8 million people, but there's 37 million people in Canada. But another thing that people don't realize is in BC there's about 4 million people or somewhere around that. But the amount of people that aren't going to use the rec market it's a very low market share that people in BC are using the rec market compared to
The
in
rat.
Quebec. Quebec, the market share is going to be very high of
Right.
rec users using the legal framework.
Sure. I mean, it's funny. I feel, yeah, the amount of people up there in Canada compared to the U.S., just not including all the illegals and everything, but yeah, it's like the entire population of Canada is we have more in California, as far as I understand, in terms of just pure population. So it's a wild like shift of market potential. But Canada companies are doing so amazingly already, just based off that, like the Auroras of the world and everything. Um, but yeah, I don't know how much penetration they all have into the U.S. It seems like that's getting under control by the Cresco Labs and the Harvest Health and Wellness Recreations of the world and all them fools. And
Well,
truly, yeah,
I look at it as that guys such as Nelson Peltz with Aurora is gonna work towards keeping Aurora's market cap at a good level so that
sure,
they can use their shares to acquire these companies.
right.
And when they get a deal with some other company, then it'll work in their favor. So they're already Aurora's already said they're a USA company without saying
Yeah,
it by
yeah,
getting in partnerships with Nelson Peltz, who's
right.
been working with Procter and Gamble. So
And right.
they're ready to sell out and they have to use the clout because if they don't, they're gonna get swallowed by other companies such as Curaleaf and Cresco. So yeah, you do make a
You
great
gotta,
point.
yeah, you got to be aggressive. By the way, we're the only cannabis stock channel online that actually uses the product in the video. But yeah, I mean, I think the U.S. is a fierce battleground for right, biggest market in the world. I'm sure the laws are easing up, at all times. So it really is a bonanza, which leads me to my next picks. Or I think I have one or two more.
All right, go
Um,
ahead, bro.
I'll just throw them at you both at once because they're kind of the same name. Uh, Dionymed and as well as Dixie Brands. What do you know about either one of
I
those?
wanted to get Dixie Brands at around 50 or something cents, and I was scared. I figured, I don't know. And uh
Well,
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I want to hit myself in the head a million times because why didn't I?
Okay, it's at 89 cents US as of today.
Yeah, which is around a buck 15. So I'd be three times my money on that. And
Um,
I I
wow.
I knew they
Okay.
were big for edibles, but I don't know. There was some other edible company. I just figured that they're just not, they're going to be ignored. And I was
Yeah.
super ignorant about that.
What made you attracted to want to buy them in the first place?
I just knew they were a big company. I once, have you ever heard of Kush bottles?
Psh, we've talked about it on this show, you schmo.
Okay. But I bought Kush bottles company. It was, what is it?
Well, it's
Blow.
called No
No,
now.
no, it's Micron Waste Technologies now.
I know about them. They're partnered with Aurora, right?
Yeah,
In
but
Canada.
I bought the Kush bottles because Kush bottles were dealing with the same company, Shell, and then that deal fell through, and I really lost my shirt on that.
I can't follow what that. I can't follow what you just said, but I feel
Well,
you though.
okay, listen, Kush bottles had a deal with that same company before they were Micron Waste,
Uh
and
huh.
they were gonna be the company to handle Kush bottles. And then somehow the management with Kush bottles and the company with Micron Waste weren't dealing so well, and then they had done a definitive agreement, and then they canceled the definitive agreement when
Wait,
it was halted for a long effing time, and then they just let it out, and it went.
how does this go? How, I'm saying, how does this connect to my pick or what we said? We don't remember.
Uh, basically, maybe the edibles market or something. Basically,
Oh yeah.
that's how I learned about Dixie Brands. I think because I was comparing the companies. I want to know who's a big competitor in the states as far as edibles and infused beverages and all that crap.
Yeah, they're just a good partner. Wait, you saying
No,
you bought what was it called, Micron or something? And
it was Kush bottles. When they had that deal, it was called Finn. That was the ticker, and I got killed. I lost. I lost. Okay, I put say I don't know, like $3,500 in, and I sold out at about $1,200, and now Micron
what?
Micron's
Yeah,
at about $6,000. But they had ended the deal, and I was like, what the f are they gonna do? I don't want to keep holding this share. This is what I invested into, but somehow
yeah.
they got their shit together, and now if I would have just hold tough, I would have been okay. But
You gotta hold. That's the next lesson, maybe the biggest one for the fan base is hold tough. When
you do have to a lot of the times, but sometimes
you gotta
it's
cut the losses.
yeah, it's a science. It's a intuitive thing. It's an intuitive thinking. You have to be really in tune with what you think the market. It's it's a gamble. That's the best way to put it.
Ah, gambling. Right. That's what they call it. I mean, yeah, man. I think with something like what I mentioned, I don't know, these brands like Dixie and they do a lot of sales. I don't know, it's hard to get these figures sometimes and they're doing big things in America. Same thing with that Dionymed, I think, or is that a Canadian company?
No, they're in the states. Med had some negative news about them recently that they cut some that they're losing some revenue uh from
Market
something.
share?
Yeah, they're losing some money from something. They're gonna get it up. I was excited about the company because they have a really low effing share float, but
Yeah, it's like 18 million and change according to OTC, and with the market cap at 50 and a half million US, of course, according to them. Yeah, share price is about 259. All that sounds good, and I know they're on the radar, but yeah, I don't know if you
but
look at the news.
you also have to look at the fully diluted. You can't just look at
Well,
the
no,
float
but
market.
that's the thing. That's the thing. See, authorized shares for Dionymed, 65 million, basically.
Yeah, so
So that's
around 200 or 250 or something like that.
Fully diluted cap, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Well, that's still good. I mean, for our purposes and everything, you're right. You do have to look at that market cap, and that's something maybe I am not. But it's hard to get the full info for all these companies. They're so new. They're on the OTC. They're their numbers and everything. They're barely getting them reported, let alone having it all nice and audited and like real time reporting and shit like that. So, I mean, like you said, I was gonna say too. We discussed Dixie. Now with Dixie brands, they have yeah. See, their market cap says it's 112 million, so over double something like Dionymed. But with Dixie brands, it doesn't list like the float or the number of authorized shares. It just says 124
I
million
think I
outstanding.
think you could probably find that information if you do Dixie Brand CSC.
Maybe, maybe. Yeah, you're right. I'm just looking at OTC markets, which is my default go-to thing. But yeah, so basically, Dixie's 112 million, Dianymed's 50 million US, suppose according to these, and so these are kind of good areas, though. These are good market caps to buy at because if it goes from 50 million to 300, that's pretty good return on your money, and anything's possible
Yeah,
with
he
this.
says a great point because when you're on a low float company, the smallest amount of news can make the share price go crazy.
Yeah, that too. And again, and then if they really execute and become a real business with long-term growth and everything, then you have a long-term winner. Whether you sell before that or not is up to you, and obviously it's all your choice. Everyone has their own style. That's one of the most important things too. You got to develop your own style of investing. I'm against this whole like do what someone else does. It's not going to work for you.
Yeah, he says a great point because everybody's different. It's the same thing. If you're a hockey player, somebody might shoot left, another person shoots right. Same with golf, another person might shoot left, another person shoots right, and another person they might prefer a 6 iron at a certain uh say 200 yards, another person wants a 4 iron or a 5 wood. Everybody
Right.
has different characteristics to their personality. Everybody has to figure out their strengths and their weaknesses.
You're right. You're right.
So,
Um,
if you can find out your strength and your weaknesses, you can focus in and get your strengths and just make them make them get you money. That's what we're after. Get your life
yeah.
better.
Yeah, raise up basically, raise the roof.
Raise the roof.
Yeah. And again, we've talked about it before, like look in your own backyard. If you work in the fucking mining industry or the whatever oil industry, use the inside information that you know from your own job and your own experience that other people don't know, and use that to get that edge if you want to, play that type of market,
Oh, totally. Um,
right?
basically,
If
um, I. Oh, fuck's going on?
what's the problem, man? What the problem is?
Oh,
So let's
just
review the picks. Let's review the
yeah,
picks that
go on.
I've thrown out real quick. So we basically have four potentials. Oh, I did what? What's this?
Uh, I just want to bring in a tidbit. If if
Yeah,
if you're close to some area, he went to Halo Labs and he checked out their facility. That is going to make you a better investor.
agreed. Well said.
If you can see the facility when it goes through a bad day and it goes down 10 or 15%, you're not going to be stressing about it and throwing the towel. And then 2 weeks later, a month later, it goes up 50, 100% higher, and you're like,
Hmm.
oh, I wish. So if you could go to places and you can learn about the
Yeah,
company more, you're going to be a stronger investor.
yeah, exactly. And I felt that. And when I went to see Halo, it was just very interesting from a human perspective, I guess. Like it was just this science. It's like a mad scientist lab, but it's all very controlled. So I have wanted to see a place like that just because. And then, yeah, if it comes to a real company that you can invest in or that you already did invest in, yeah, you want to see the operations up close. Like we had to walk through the door and go in the thing and everything, man. We had to drive 2 hours each way just to see this thing. So, and the more chill level of that is just what do you see at the local store? What do you see at your local market, corner store, stuff like that,
Try the
gas station,
product. Try the effing
right?
product. You're
Dispensary, whatever.
invested in say 5,000, 15,000, $25,000, and you're afraid to spend $25 or $50 on their product. Give me a effing break.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, if you go to dispensaries and you're in California or whatever, yeah, ask them what they look around, ask them what they sell, ask them who's doing well in the store, what brands are doing. If you and then try it, get an edible, a vape, whatever. Some of that shit, something different, just be besides like the normal shit, you know. Yeah, especially in this industry, it's so easy, man. You could just see what's out there. Yeah, I mean out here in Cali, out in Canada, there's so many grow things and farms and extraction facilities, labs and shit. Yeah, so there's a lot of room to do due diligence, like boots on the ground. As my buddy said, boots on the ground is so important. And we saw, man. I told you I saw the grapefruit, the IGNG facility too, sort of. That Grapefruit Boulevard.
I I got I got my 800 shares at 14 cents. I'll see what they do, man. We'll see. I'm not too
Well,
worried.
I think I told you we drove by the facility where they're supposedly growing, and it's this massive, huge
Is
warehouse-like
it how
building.
big you think it
Yeah,
is?
really big. I don't know about 8 million square. What did they say? Like no, 2.8 million square feet. They claim they're gonna have to grow in, which is like over double Aurora's like biggest in the world facility. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man, it was this place called the Cannabis Business Park or something, but it was still being built. This is like a week and a half ago. It was still being built, but they have these two giant, like, if you grew weed in these two buildings, yeah, man, you'd have a lot of fucking space to grow. So if grapefruit's taking that over and it's real and everything, then that's one to watch big
Yeah.
time. Thank you
Take
to
a
Mickey D for the pick. Mickey D
Mickey
for the
D is the man. That guy, okay. No matter how many people want to say they brought the first pick, Mickey D actually is in Vegas and in California, and that guy talks to these companies. That guy is like a real legitimate guy, and
yeah.
he's not fully focused on cannabis. He looks into vanadium and uranium,
Radio,
which
baby.
could be really high up there. So yeah,
He,
I recommend
he
subscribing to Mickey D. I've learned a
Mickey
little
D.
bit in the last couple of weeks. I've subscribed to him. He's a solid dude.
Well, he claims uranium and vanadium are like the next wave of craze after
But
cannabis, but we don't know the
you
shit
gotta
yet.
wait. I do think he has a point on some things, but I don't want to get too in depth on that stuff.
Yeah,
But
I mean, but to our point we just brought up, like Mickey did a video where he was in front of one of the Acres dispensaries. You know, they just got bought by I can't remember who. You've heard of that one?
no.
Let me look it up. Hold on. I'm gonna
Yo,
look it up
man,
right now.
Tilt's
Hold on.
almost up to $3, man. It was at around
Dude,
$2.96 today. I'm finally in the money on Tilt.
oh no, Tilt is steady as it goes, but they just. By the way, here's what I was trying to reference. So there was just a deal where Curaleaf bought a Nevada company called Acres Cannabis for a cool $70 million. I know Curaleaf, I hadn't heard of Acres, but that's just in Nevada, just one state. And I know that Mickey D, who we were talking about, he did a video where he was standing like in front of one of the Acres dispensaries or whatever. So this is the type of thing we're talking about with boots on the ground and going out and like researching the product yourself. Plus, it's fun. We're talking about weed dispensaries, not driving to some sort of like oil rigging facility. Yeah, it's good, man. It's fun. So that's an example. I didn't ever heard of Acres
Oh,
before I read the story.
I'm gonna show an example, and I'm also gonna smack myself in the face at the same time.
Yeah.
I ate tons of Village Farms tomatoes before the company was well known. I love their tomatoes. They make great tomatoes out in
Yep.
BC. So I was gonna invest a lot. I was telling my brother, my mom, my brother's wife,
Everybody.
everybody. I was like, yeah, this company's gonna make me rich. And what did I do?
It almost did.
I bought 800 shares of them. I was gonna accumulate. I mean, I do it at a slow pace. Maybe I'll buy a little bit, like 25% position one day, 30% another day, and then another 35%. But regardless, is I was serious about this company because they had the deal with Emerald Health and it had gone down from 282 to 191. Excuse me. So I
Yeah.
drove past their facility in Delta, BC, Ladner, BC,
Yep. Did your homework,
did
due
my
diligence,
homework. This is a big
boots on the
facility,
ground.
boots on the ground, and
Yep.
I looked at it and I was, this is humongous. The greenhouses, it's ginormous, and I loved every single tomato I've ever had from Village Farms has been amazing.
Ah,
So why wouldn't their cannabis be a good investment? I don't know.
um, right.
I looked at it
Exactly.
and I said, well, they're not a cannabis company yet. They don't have an LP. They don't have a sales license. Okay, let's go invest fully into Wayland or American back in the day. And
Oh,
I went,
Wayland,
I went,
Marican.
I went balls deep, yo. What balls deep? I'm talking balls deep in Wayland.
Right.
And
Okay.
I lost my.
What was the reason that convinced you to go with that
They
instead?
have a German facility that's 1 million square feet, and and Germany is the hub in Europe. And they had a sales license for cannabis, and they had been LP since 2014. And I figured that
But did you have any boots on the ground experience with them? I think that's the lesson in all this, really. Because, yeah, the thing where you were literally eating their product versus something over in Germany, right?
listen to
That's
this
that's
guy.
it.
That's what
There
he's
we
saying.
go.
Boots on
I
the
think
ground.
we gotta tie it together.
Eat their
Yeah.
product. Even if you don't like their product, you have to look at it as in maybe that's just not for you, but could it be for a lot of other people? Hell
Right. But if
yeah.
it is for you, but if you do like it, then probably other people will too. That makes it
Oh,
even easier.
absolutely. But I'm just saying though, I don't look at it as an oh, because of that. For example, I'm investing into Harvest One and people are buying the Dream Water, CBD Dream
Mhm.
Water, and
Yeah.
they just had a deal with Kroger's USA. Do you know Kroger's?
Kroger's, yeah, I guess we call it
Do
here,
they
but
have a
yeah.
store in your town or city?
Not in my town, but I believe Kroger's are the ones behind Ralph's, which are everywhere around here. Ralph's supermarket. So I think they're just, yeah, Ralph's and Kroger's are one and the same. So when you buy the in-house brand at Ralph's, it's Kroger, whatever,
Okay,
water or, yeah,
okay, so Kroger's is huge. They're about like 10 to 20% the size of Walmart USA, and
yeah, they're huge.
they have a deal with Walmart USA. And where I think they're gonna go next, and this is just my speculation hat on. Yeah, my speculation hat is I think they're gonna go to CVS Health.
Which already has announced CBD as well as Walgreens.
Walgreens, I
Uh,
agree. Do you know why I think that? And this is just speculation. You can't take my word for it. It could be wrong. Reason why I say that is because Loblaws is a huge company, and the CEO of Harvest One was a big manager in Loblaws. Big.
Loblaw.
He
That
had
sounds familiar.
38
Yeah,
years of experience in Loblaws. So
yeah,
you think this mofo doesn't have connections in all these retail stores? Give your head a
yeah.
shake. The guy,
That reminds me. the guy we met from Halo when we went out to their labs, he worked for Walmart for a while, but he was like buying laundry detergent for them. It's like, it's called like a master merchant or something like that. But yeah, it's like it's crazy how fools just come from stuff like that, and now they're all in the marijuana business.
I
Yeah,
know
so long
it should be me and Scott running the show because we've been using the products for like 10, 15 years.
fuck yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Now that we can go to a store, yeah, what I always said is I've spent plenty of money on weed, so now it's time for weed to pay me back. Besides just getting high, like in a major way, but we know it goes way beyond that. Oh, I have two other real quick picks I forgot before we go, I guess. One, and this is another boots on the ground opportunity for me. I know I threw it out there, and this is a Mickey D pick, by the way, before me even, is that Tinley Beverage Company. I knew I threw it out to
Yeah,
you.
guys like me and Scott, we ain't gonna try to take credit from anybody else. We're gonna just be honest with people and be like,
We'll give
yo,
them the credit.
those people brought us the picks. It is what it is, you know. But we're still
Yeah, I
gonna give
mean,
them. We're still gonna say it's
yeah,
a
I mean,
great pick.
yeah, with something like Tinley, I knew about it before I heard Mickey say it, but he said it's like a whatever 50 million company that he thinks could go to be $1 billion brand someday. But I was going to say, as far as I know, they're located right near
What
me. So
company did you say? Sorry.
Tinley
Oh
Beverage.
yeah, you told me about Tinley. I'm looking at them.
Ah,
I've never
you're
bought Tinley. I've also thought about Favita. Favita's a competitor with Tinley, and Favita's got Red Bull, uh, uh, like late execs.
Favita?
Yeah,
Never heard of that. See, the thing with me with Tinley is I could probably go visit them or at least call them or something or swing by their office sometime and look into it or whatever I got to do or find their shit on the store shelves somewhere. And it'd be a more easy boots on the ground for me because I know they're located right near me. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Uh,
It's really tough with these companies because I look at their revenues and I don't really get excited until they're over 1 million or 2 million.
yeah,
But they can come out of nowhere. They could have, say, $200,000, and all of a sudden, a quarter over, they have 3 million. And you
totally.
probably could have made a lot of money if you're really involved with the processing of where the company's going.
Yeah, another company that's kind of the same thing is this one called Elevate Brands or Vate is this ticker in the OTC or whatever. They do hemp, they do CBD hemp like coffee and tea and iced coffee and shit. And yeah, the revenues haven't been that great, but they always sell out. They always sell out everything they have, and it took them forever just to like get new product, and now they're selling it through Amazon and all that. But yeah, so it's like, well, the revenues aren't maybe that impressive yet. The sell through is good, and they're a CBD coffee tea company. Tinley is a marijuana like fake alcohol beverage company. They have like the THC margarita, thing and coca whatever pina colada with like 80 milligrams of weed. So these are all things to look into. I think the beverage space is huge and competitive. Whatever CBD is going to be big in it, but these are things we could look into. Um, my last pick, Next Leaf over in Canada. You know these guys? Did we discuss them yet? Next
Next,
Leaf Solutions.
yeah, you were talking about. I haven't really researched them. I've looked at Next Green Wave, I think it was,
I've heard of that, but Next
and I
Leaf is
almost
different.
bought them, but
Yeah,
not this company.
I've heard of Next Green Wave, but Next Leaf is brand new. They're on the OTC in America. They've been volume. Same thing with Tinley. There's like no volume, but it's out there. Next Leaf actually is a Canadian company, but they have a patent on extraction for the U.S. and Canada. I don't know exactly what it is, but they have one of the first patents in the cannabis extraction space, and they have a facility like a big facility somewhere in Canada to extract. And I don't know what the revenues look like or anything like that, but they don't have a light. That's one of the problems. Like you're saying, they're not a licensed, they're not an LP in Canada yet, but they expect to be sometime this year or whatever. So all that stuff, I can see how it's an ongoing process.
The
But
late LPs, in my opinion, are getting preyed upon.
the late LPs, so the ones that have only recently gotten their shit.
They're getting preyed upon. For example, Tilray. acquired this company for super cheap, Naturos or something like that, for
Right.
I think 200 million, or I don't know, not very much money, and they have I think like a 200,000 square feet facility or something like that.
Wow.
It was a very small amount of money, but they're getting preyed upon. Whereas Tilray doesn't have that much square footage, and they're asking a $7 billion market cap, which is 7,000 million. So yeah, yeah.
So so we hear, yeah. I mean, it's just having those connections and those names and being on the good exchange and yeah, having this right CEO or whatever they
That's
got.
all the big money
Yeah.
behind it. That's all. And they got the Novartis and the Ab Bev. So
Uh-huh.
all the speculation money is easily flooded into Tilray versus one of these. Yeah.
Yeah. But remember, we just need companies that are going to go up a good amount. They don't have to be the biggest companies in the world. They just have to, just going from like small company to medium-sized company. If you're invested when it's small, can be a really great return.
I
And
know,
that's kind
but it's effing annoying, man, because honestly, I wanted to ride for MPX because I was seeing their revenues increase drastically,
yeah.
and their market cap never went high. So I just and
Really? And why did they get bought by, or why did they merge with Ianthus, and what happened there? And now you're telling me there's MPXI, which is a whole different spin-off company. This is where shit gets confusing.
okay, I thought I explained it, but I'll clarify it a little more. It's
Yeah.
basically uh Ianthus bought MPX USA. So was MPX has owns one LP in Canada, and they're building another facility in Owen, somewhere in Ontario, and
Yeah.
now they're working in Europe. But
Nice.
what they did is they sold off their US, all their acquisitions, everything they own in USA to Ianthus for around $400 million. I don't know the exact dollar figure,
Right.
but then that all the other companies and their other IP that they have in Canada and internationally, that just got transferred into MPXI. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, I believe. Yeah. Spin-offs are a daily thing in the markets in general. Yeah, you guys, especially in the cannabis game, Canopy Rivers, Australis Capital. I know the T God one was supposed to come
I
out.
honestly hate Canopy Rivers and AUSA. I seriously think they're big pump and dumps.
Yeah,
And
what happened with those stocks? What's the thing with those now?
AUSA has some type of deal with BAM, so but I don't know. Same with Rivers. Like, what the F is Rivers doing? But they're worth $800 million, and then Tilt USA is worth $800 million.
And it's
It,
making 20 million a month,
yeah,
whatever.
ah,
Yeah.
you really need to know who the F is backing these companies, and then you're gonna be rich. Because to do your own
So
research, some of the time, all you do
you
is you hit effing walls. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's because the market, these things don't behave rationally. Because if you could just go add up the numbers and get rich, then it would be easy. But no, you have to
Yeah,
always.
but listen though, all these effing other people, they can't read freaking math to save their souls, but they're making money because somehow they're guessing right.
So, well, yeah, that's being lucky at guessing helps a lot too. So, how do we know who has the biggest backing that you can just invest in and get rich without any home?
Honestly, I think MedMen has some good backing, man. I'll tell you what's up with MedMen. I only own 100 shares. It's a small position for me, but I'll tell you, I think Kronos wants to own them out fully eventually. And
Okay.
I'll give you my reasoning is that the Gotham Green Partners,
Yeah.
they just put $250 million into
Madman.
MedMen, and
Yeah.
the CEO of Kronos, he was on the board of directors of Gotham Green.
These are the connections we need to look at. This corporate board hopping, because
That
that's what it's all about.
it's some type of funneling of money. It's really effed up, but it,
But
in my opinion, it's going to be very skewed. It's basically okay. That CEO of Kronos knew the Gotham Green partners, so he says, "Yo, buddy, throw these guys some cash, and we'll work it out later."
pretty much, yeah. It's like, here, hold this for me. I'll come pick it up and I'll give you your reward after that. Yeah, man, you're right. So yeah, that should be a next level of things we look at in terms of like just these corporate, boys club connections with all these guys. And you're
Yeah,
right. That's who's gonna
Uh,
get the money
I
funneled to
want
them.
to give so many fingers to these boys clubs because I think you guys.
That- They're there to fuck the little guy and enrich themselves.
I
So when you
I I
understand,
don't give a effing shit, man. You think that Bruce Litton's out gonna look out for a guy like me? Are you out of your mind? No. He's looking
he
out
has no reason.
he's looking out for guys such as Jim Cramer who are gonna help him out in the future. That's all it works.
And with that, we're out, bro.
Okay, peace.
Peace.
No, we can't be out now.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't even do my picks. You can't sell me out short.
Oh, we're no, it was just a prelim mic drop. But yeah, we are going long on time, so let's wrap it
No,
up. But yeah, let's hear the picks.
yeah, well, oh, so
My
you're
computer's
gonna
moving
rush my
fast.
picks now.
I'll rush your picks. Hey, I'm the guest on this show. It's my picks or the highway. No, the what's it called? Yeah, I mean, I gave you mine. Yeah, I got 4 or 5 picks. Let's hear the rest of yours.
Um, Honestly, I think that Harvest One is something that people need to really look out for. HVT ticker, I think it's HRVOF. And I'll
It,
tell you why, because Curaleaf's at a $5 billion market cap with 32 million. And they just bought Delivra, a topical cream. They're very well known in Canada for in Loblaw stores, which the CEO used to work at. He picked that company because he knew that's going to work for their cannabis company. He knows that shit, and
Harvest One.
he bought
Which,
Dreamwater CBD as Dreamwater, and they're going to turn it into CBD Dreamwater CBD for the edibles market later this year. And I like Meta. Meta's getting a little higher now. National Access. Uh, they've done about 20 million so far since legalization, and yeah, they're a retail company, and I think they're gonna do good. Their market cap's somewhere around 120. I like Kush bottles. They're
what what's the previous one? What's the name of the company?
Meta National Access. I don't know if they're on the OTC,
Yeah,
but
yeah, they're National Access Cannabis.
yeah.
NACNF on the OTC.
Okay,
NACNF.
there. Uh, I think uh I think Suniva might have its day sometime as soon as their sales start picking up in California and they start growing.
I'm telling you, man, here's what needs to happen. You heard it here first. A merger between Suniva, Halo, Harvest Health and Recreation, and like one other company. I don't know.
But listen though, I hear what you're saying. We had this chat before, but do you
Yeah,
know the CEO of uh Suniva? They sold their last company to GlaxoSmithKline for 1.7 billion.
that's what they need now, right?
Do
Let
you
me see
really
the.
think that Harvest Health now is going to pay 1.7 billion if they're going to try to acquire them soon?
Oh, well, not for them, but they did just pay 850 million US for that, whatever the fuck they bought. I forgot the name of the thing, but
Oh,
yeah, you know who I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
Verano. Yeah, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. The Suniva's market cap needs to go a lot higher. They need to go up to 15 to
Well,
$20 to be acquired.
okay, well, they're listed as having 129, 130 million US market cap right now, so that would be 10x from there would be 1.2 billion. They have a
No, I
really low
don't think
float.
their California operation is not gonna get that much money for. I think they could be bought for maybe, at least not now, maybe in a year or 2 years, yeah, they can do that.
What is these guys hook? Like what makes these guys special anyways?
They have national health services, or I think that is. So they have all
Hmm.
these patients all around Canada. They also have a vape company in California, and then the fact that they also have a facility. They were planning to be huge. They wanted to be huge in Canada and California, but they weren't able to get lots of financing, so they've had to slow down
Wow.
their process, and they're gonna grow in like a small facility, maybe grow.
Wait, what about their crazy ass like super warehouse greenhouse thing that was under construction slash finished? I remember seeing that on the Midas letter like a year ago or something, or a while ago. You know what I'm talking
In
about?
Cali.
In Cali. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be the first phase should be done right about soon. But as far as getting ready to be in every room, then it's got to be the California regulators saying okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hurdles and stuff, but again, but like they wanted to, like, I know they have some crazy, like, organic solar way to grow weed or something, like, that's special, and that's what sets them apart. Almost like Tea God, I feel like they have the organic. What the hell is going on, man?
Oh, I'm fixing it. Don't worry.
You're fighting with the computer.
No, it's because my battery's dying. That's what I'm.
Well, yeah, no, mine is too, so again, we'll wrap it up in a couple minutes. But yeah, Suniva reminds me, like, you know how Tea God talks about they do only organic weed, and Suniva has some solar way to grow shit in a greenhouse or whatever, and they're just trying to have these premium, like, stress-free cannabis products or whatever. Very tight. But we'll see, man. The battle is on. 2019, I should say.
Oh,
We're already
a
first
number,
quarter.
a number that a date that people need to remember is I just learned that May 31st or something is the date where they're working on making the foods for CBD hemp okayed. You hear about that date?
No. In
But
what area?
because there's certain kind of legislation saying that a food with CBD is not okay.
Right. I mean, I've seen a CBD pizza joint here in West Hollywood, but
That's
normally
that
you don't
that's
see it.
that's that's not okay.
That's not a, right, but normally, yeah. Well, that's not true. They do have CBD gummies and maybe like brownies and stuff at the place next door to me, the little corner store. But overall, you don't see it that much yet.
Yeah, there's so much like confusion with the regulations, but as far as it goes, as someone such as Canopy, I don't think they're going to start trying to dominate that market until there's clear legislation in place, because they don't want to risk their whole reputation on that.
No, because anytime you consume something, especially food, I mean, the regulations are up your ass, as I guess they should be, because we don't want to be eating toxic shit from China or smoking it or whatever. Um, but yeah, man, the battle will continue with how to oversee all this stuff. All right, man. Let's wrap
Yeah,
it up. Let's give
yeah,
your yeah piece, but I'll say I could wrap it up by just doing a quick list of my picks to recap them, and you could do yours if you want, or not, or we could just say peace.
now you
But
do your picks. Go ahead.
we've already mentioned them.
Okay,
Do we have
well
to?
then I'll just say that there's a lot of different picks out there, but
Yes.
you just want to buy them when they're low. Don't be chasing, and
No FOMO.
don't be panicking when they go down 5 or 10%. If you did your research and you believe in the company, and there's a lot of fundamentals behind it, eventually it should get back to a good level. I'm not going to guarantee that, but I'm just going to say that.
Just you can panic when it goes from to 11% down, not 10%. But past that, no. Yeah, the point is, you guys don't need any more education. We're not gurus. We're not teachers. We're
I'm a
just
girl.
sharing
I'm just
intelligence.
kidding.
Yeah, you might be the guru, but yeah, man. I mean, basically, long story short, hit us up, make a comment. We want to talk to you, I guess, unless you suck. Give us picks, whatever. Give us pics or we're shutting this thing down, man. 100 likes or we're shutting it off.
Yeah,
All right.
I want 10 more likes. I want
Yep.
10 more likes before me and Scott are gonna do another
Yep.
video. If that
If
doesn't
you want
happen,
us,
no more
yep.
videos. Zero
Totally
videos.
right. All right.
We're
Shut it down. We're
we're
done. We're
done.
done
We're
here.
done. No more
We're done.
YouTube. No more
Get out of
YouTube.
here.
We're
I'm,
out of
I'm
here.
shutting my laptop. I'm shutting my laptop. No, okay, I'm back. No, but for real, we could be done if we're not done yet.
All right, peace, man. Give a thumbs up. Subscribe to Scott. Until next time,
Subscribe to
peace.
my channel. Check me out. Keep watching. More in store. More to come.
Peace.